I wanted my journey to have a meaning beyond just kilometers. As a lifelong Real Madrid fan, it felt symbolic to start where they recently lifted the Champions League trophy, at Wembley Stadium in London, and to end at the Santiago Bernabeu in Madrid. But this trip wasn't really about the football at all. Whether Real Madrid won or lost that game, I was always going to take this journey. The stadium were just markers to a much larger story. This trip was about more than just reaching a destination. It was about the challenge, the adventure, and the unknown. The journey from London to Madrid was a test, not just of a strength, but of a will. I wasn't just cycling for the miles, I was cycling to find something, to get lost in nature, to disconnect from the world and to reconnect with myself. So come along from Wembley to Madrid, from comfort to the unknown. This is my journey. Let's get started. Just few kilometers into my trip and I got a flat tire. Which is not a big deal, obviously I expected a lot of flat tires in such a long journey, but what I realized is that I forgot my tire repair kit and tire levers. So I panicked. I pumped my tires just enough to get to the nearest town and I was looking for help. And then I found this amazing guy, Dave, who helped me without any hesitation, offered me to use any tool in his garage and stood next to me while I was repairing my puncture and asking if I need any help, any assistance, any water or food. I declined because I wasn't hungry, but the fact that a complete stranger who never saw me and who will never see me again and who will never ever benefit in any way from helping me. But he did. And that was a really cool experience. Okay, and I got my pizza. I mean, it's not really good pizza, but it's not terrible. Better than I expected from the automat. It looks worse than it tastes. Maybe just because I'm too hungry. Later on, I tried the pizza from this machine as well, and this one was much better. It actually tasted like a real pizza, almost like a pizza from the restaurant. So, here I am, washing my clothes, taking a shower, and washing my hair in this muddy river. Not exactly glamorous, but that's how it went on this trip. It did the job, and honestly, I didn't need anything more. For the last 2 days was very cloudy, so my solar panels were obviously not very effective, didn't collect much energy, But thankfully, I found this amazing thing where you can recharge your things for free. There's another castle behind me. While I'm waiting for my things to get charged, I'm just gonna play with my drone and have a look. When I was planning the trip, the calculation what I was doing, it was based on my previous trip to Paris, but I didn't realize many things. London-Paris is pretty flat profile of the road. Now it's completely different. There is so many hills. Paris trip is just like 2 days. Almost all the food I needed I had in my bag already. I had to buy just a couple of extra things on the road. Also bike maintenance. On such a short trip, something could happen, of course, but nothing happened to me. I didn't have to stop to buy anything for a bike or bike maintenance, but it's different on a long trip. I'm going through the nature all the time and small towns, which I love, but on the other side, if I need something, it's really hard to get it. When you pass the city with such a heavy bike, first of all, it's a terrible experience. Bike has such a terrible acceleration when it's so heavy, and it's so slow in the hills. Being in a high traffic is just nightmare. But besides of that, when I need to go somewhere in a city and I'm going different way as I planned, this rerouting takes hours of my plan. Doing it solo is great, but on the other side, if I was doing it with some other people, I would just keep my luggage on one side and one of us would decide, okay, so you go buy this without any luggage, we'll wait here, and that's it. That would be fast. But if I'm by myself, I need to carry all these things. And anytime I go to the shop, I'm just stressing out that nobody's gonna steal it. I have a lock, but my luggage is not locked. Later on, I have more and more hills, especially in Spain. It's gonna be super hilly from what I saw. Yeah, I need to make a choice. Do I want to be there on a time I set for myself, or have it proper experience as I want it? I'm still not 100% decided, because if I just cycle, then it would be just pure challenge. I love challenges, but challenge should be just one element of the trip. Other elements as exploring, having adventures, enjoying the beautiful nature, beautiful towns, documenting the trip. So here I am in Bordeaux, my first night in the hostel. It felt amazing to finally have a proper shower and sleep in a real bed. The city was so beautiful, and it was great to socialize and spend some time off the road. I wish I had more time to explore, but I enjoyed every moment I had in Bordeaux. And then the coastline on the south of France, just before the Spanish border. That was something else. The scenery, the towns, the atmosphere, it all felt different, alive and full of beauty.
Okay, so it's day 11th. I'm in San Sebastian. 3 days ago I was in Bordeaux. I stayed in a hostel because I needed to charge all my devices because it was pretty cloudy most of the time and my solar panels were not enough to keep with my electricity use. And also it was nice to socialize and have a shower and just wash my clothes and sleep in a normal bed. It took me 2 days to get here. First day it was wonderful. It was flat. There was not heavy traffic. It went very well. But yesterday, the second part from Bordeaux to San Sebastian, it's just shit. It was very hilly and it was very heavy traffic. Navigation was putting me on a very busy roads. Worst cycling of my life. But then I came to San Sebastian and this city is just amazing, so beautiful. I love the vibe of the city and it gave me a huge moral boost when I felt very low. Yesterday I stayed in a hostel. I'm just chilling on the beach before I go. It's approximately 500 kilometers to Madrid. It's supposed to be very hilly, but hopefully not too much traffic. Trying to get mentally ready for last few days of the trip to work hard because I have just few days to get to Madrid. So now it's Wednesday. Hopefully I can make it until Saturday night. But let's see.
It's raining all the time. It was raining all night. It's supposed to rain all day. I really don't want to go to cycle right now. Now I'm 50 kilometers from San Sebastian, somewhere in the mountains. It's gonna be climbs all day, which is not really a big problem because it is beautiful in here and the traffic is not too big. Once I have my things packed up and I'm on the road, warmed up, it's okay. But waking up in a rain when you need to pack up all the things, so you get wet even before you start cycling. All the things get wet. What can I do? I need to go on the road. In the middle of the rain, exhausted, and climbing yet another mountain, I noticed this little plant on the side of the road. Every time the stream knocked it down, it bounced back like it was refusing to give in, over and over again. Just kept going. I was observing this little plant for a while because I found it fascinating and kind of poetic in the middle of a personal battle with myself, a battle of keeping my discipline and morals high, while I was so tired and exhausted. So this little plant was kind of inspirational and it was perfect reminder that no matter what happens, no matter the circumstances on my trip, or more importantly in life, I can and I will always continue. I'm a big fan of the movie Dune. I was listening to the soundtracks from the movie throughout the trip, and often when I was in a hard mental and physical situation and in a pain, I was thinking about this scene.
What's in the box?
Pain. Silence. There is no fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings obliteration. And I'll face my fear and I'll permit it to pass over me and through me. And where the fear is gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain.
So, I'm up here on this hill, enjoying my breakfast with beautiful view, and naturally I thought, let's get a cool drone shot. But as you can tell from the shaky footage, it was super windy and my drone took the dive from the steep side of the hill. I walked my way up to the hill from the other side, which was not very steep and easy to go. But now, because of the operation drone rescue, I had to actually climb from the steep side of the hill and go down to get the drone. And on my way back up, I figured, why not turn the drone back on and make a shot of myself climbing? Might as well make the most of it. Now I was entering what would become my favorite part of the trip. Mountains of the La Rioja and Castilla y León regions. The views were stunning. the weather perfect, and the roads were completely empty. It felt like I had the world to myself, with barely any cars or people around. Peaceful, but with that solitude came challenges. The climbs were tough, mountains don't give you a break, but the scenery made up for it. The real difficulty though was how remote it was. No shops for many kilometers at a time, which meant I had to plan ahead. Too much gear and the bike felt like a tank on those climbs. Too little and I would risk running out of food or water. There were a few moments when I got close and I started to worry, but each time I managed to find a place to resupply just before things got critical. And I was wondering, how about those people who are doing much longer trips and travel to the very remote areas? How are they dealing with those logistical issues? One day I would love to cycle around the world and go to the very remote areas, and I just need to learn how those people deal with those logistical challenges.
I got a need for a light straw. I'm running out of water and I found a lake which is behind me. I'm not sure if it's clear to see. Anyway, this lake, it's probably water reserve for the region, so the water is probably clean. I'm pretty sure it's clean. I would drink it without the filter anyway, but just to be 100% sure, I'm gonna use the filter.
This is my last night on the road, and if all goes well, tomorrow I will reach Madrid. It's also my final night camping in the nature, and honestly, this is the most beautiful spot I've had in these 2 weeks. The landscape, the nature, the peace, the sunset, it's all just incredible. I was enjoying my last day cycling. I was surrounded by beautiful mountains on the side and open fields in front. And then suddenly I saw it. I saw a glimpse of big buildings. And I realized this is my destination. This is Madrid.
Una pasión, Real Madrid.
I love the solo trip. It's just you and your thoughts. You just explore the way your mind works. What I'm trying to learn is be mindful and aware of this inner dialogue. And so it's the battle of these two voices. When everything goes well, strong voice is obviously easy to listen to. When there is a critical situation, it's the opposite. It's okay, so now I have obstacle. Now I feel really, really low on moral. Also, that voice is telling you, this is not you. You are not that strong as you thought. And just accept it. It's okay. You cannot do these kind of challenges. When a big voice is loud, if you are not aware of this inner dialogue, you would take it as a reality and you would just submit to it. But if you learn to be more mindful and aware of this inner dialogue, you recognize this is not reality, this is just one perspective. But there is also another side. So let's listen to it. On the other side, you have let's call it a strong voice. It's telling you, okay, you are wet, okay, you are not 20% fit, you are not clean, you are very tired. But is any of these things killing you? Like, you are not dying. Physically, you can continue. You just don't continue because it's mentally too challenging. But the strong voice is telling you that, okay, if you go through that, it's gonna give you so much mental strength and confidence in yourself that you were able to overcome these obstacles. And also, you're gonna have an amazing trip because this is just a critical moment. In a few hours or a day, everything's gonna be different and you're gonna be ecstatic again. You're gonna see so many beautiful things and experiences. Let's just ignore the weak voice because long term is gonna destroy me, while the strong voice, long term, gonna keep me growing and progressing. Observe it and try to not let this emotion be in control of you. And you realize that you can just continue